Alright, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the podcast, and joining me, as always, is none other than my co-host, Avera.
Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're having a fantastical Friday, or perhaps, Saturday, wherever you might be on this beautiful world of ours. And definitely got a lot of stuff to look into. For one thing, now, I'm just, spoiler alert, I'm really looking forward to the whole Magic the Gathering situation. I mean, that was something we've talked about for a while before, so I don't know. I'm just super excited about that. Aside
Mm-hmm.
from that, I hope everyone's doing very well. Happy August 2nd. And
Well, yeah,
yeah,
your boy might have something about the whole Magic the Gathering thing.
I know, I'm super hyped. I can't wait.
Give it time, give it time.
All
But
right.
soon. Anyway, joining us as always is our ever-present interim host, Noble.
Good afternoon, good day, good morning, good night, and good evening.
I think you basically went one round the clock. You went back and then you went forward, and it's like, how does circle again?
I'm just trying to confuse people.
Oh, Noble, it was great to see you tomorrow yesterday. I mean, last week was fantastic next month. You know what I mean? It was great.
To a point.
Yeah, all good.
Fair point. Now I understand. Now I understand why it's lacking in my part of the world. Anyway, that aside, though, next on the show we have Tyler.
How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening and just enjoy.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. This is going to be a super awesome show. I just know it.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be.
Granted, I do say that every single time, but yeah, seems like we got a great panel going on. So,
We're hyped. That's
oh yeah,
So we're going to be talking about automobiles, so can't be anything better than that.
your
That's on the
specialty.
cards, for sure.
Hell yeah.
First things first, though. We all know it's kind of a silent thing, but we all kind of know what's going on around this world in this time of the year. Every couple of years.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the Olympics, and well, it would have just gone by as if it was nothing to fuss about, but this one in particular seems to have made itself into a massive cluster.
Been a bit of a splash, I'm guessing.
Well, you can say that, and
Shit show.
yes, and it actually started. It actually started with with the way it opened. Yep, it was so outrageous. The ceremony was so outrageous. It drew condemnation from a lot of people. Namely, if you have a certain follow a certain belief system.
Oh boy. Right. So,
Yes.
for those of you who are not able to watch the video that we're posting, we're not posting it now, but
Well, I think the pictures here that were snapped will just speak volumes. What they just
they will
tried to
speak
do.
volumes indeed. And in fact, this is why people were very upset about it. No
Indeed.
question. So unfortunately, this is what the Olympics decided to present to the world. They hired some kind of radical artist to insult Jesus, and not only that, I don't even think they were insulting Jesus in this picture. Now, this is just my opinion, guys. Now, tell me what you think about this. I think they were insulting Leonardo da Vinci because he made this artwork back in like the 1500s, and
Can you-
they replicated it. Like, is
100%.
Can you full screen that for me?
Yeah,
I'll
please
zoom it
do.
for you. I can.
So we have why? Okay,
Ew.
one question here. Why is there a child in this picture of drag queens and clearly, people mocking Jesus? They have an agenda, obviously, but why is there like what looks like a, I don't know, 5 or 7-year-old child? What are they doing there amongst these men dressed up as women? That's a little weird for me. I'm kind of
Avira.
confused about that.
There is one woman in the original picture.
There's only one woman, so basically they're all men dressed up as women. Okay. So,
I meant the original.
the original, what, by Leonardo da Vinci?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the original woman. Okay, fine. That's fine. I see nothing wrong with the original artwork, but the fact that they're literally mocking it in this. Okay,
Well,
this is the Olympics. Like, this is something thousands of years ago. Naked men would run with torches to light the fire and start the games. Okay, like, what happened? Please tell me what happened here. What is this?
Modern America happened.
What is this? No, this is France, but still, it's fucked. What happened?
modernity happened. You're right. Now they put a friggin' this monstrosity right front and center at the table, as if this thingo is supposedly the almighty one. And it's just
Clearly, they're mocking the Last Supper. That's what they do. But oh boy, so let's read on with this article. It says the Paris Olympics mocking our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ with a mock Last Supper, including drag queens. No other religion is mocked this way. That's true, by the way. You can't mock Islam because for some reason they're protected. I don't know why. Only Christianity, because even common demons know the truth. Yikes. So, quote,
yes.
the Olympics are supposed to be a time where countries unite under the banner of sports. See, that I agree with. That's what I thought from the beginning, because, this is an ancient Greek tradition. People came from all over the world for centuries to do this. And this is just kind of a mockery of,
Right, and what does this have to do
Western
with
civilization, I guess. I mean, fucking everything.
so stop here. But what does the whole ceremony have to do with sports? Right, like this.
Nothing. Nothing. I mean, what would be really cool? If they had, like, Hermes. Like someone dressed up as Hermes who's, like, flying around and, like, maybe he's a sprinter or something. Or if they reenacted, like, the traditions of, like, the Greek gods, like, that would be pretty cool, right? But no, they have to do this, which has zero things to do with sports, and it just offended people. And I'm not one to use that word offended lightly, but this was pretty offensive. I mean, come on.
No,
It's not offensive. It pissed people off.
it did.
They knew what they were doing. Yeah, of course.
They wanted to. They intended to mock him, but as it always is the case, the good Lord will not be mocked, because what happened after that? A power blackout happened, and you won't believe what the only thing that was still shining and fully lit and powered was. Day after.
This was something that was very uncanny. Now, you can say it was a coincidence or perhaps an act of God, but from what I saw, as directly after this blatant display of, Jesus mockery, which is their intention, that's what they did. the entire city of Paris had a massive blackout, and the only thing that was lit up was let's say Paris goes dark day after the Bacht Olympics opening ceremony, Mach's Last Supper, Sacré-Cœur Basilica remained lit among the darkness. The only thing, the church itself, remained lit over the entire city. I mean, man, if that ain't a sign from God, it's just take a step back and think. I don't know. You don't have to be a believer, but this is just a weird coincidence, right? Like after that debauchery, it goes on to say, parts of Paris, France were struck with a blackout over the weekend, just 24 hours after the Olympics drew global backlash for its opening ceremony that detractors claimed mocked Christianity and the Last Supper. With drag queens, approximately 84,000 Parisians in 4 districts were affected by the blackout. Oh, goodness.
That's
That lasted for about 10 minutes. 8:40 p.m. on Saturday night. Electricity supplier and this they said it was a technical anomaly.
But
yeah,
how do you even explain this, right?
Come to Jesus moment.
I mean, this is insane. I mean, you look at the entire city of Paris all blacked out, and then this one church, a bastion of light amongst the darkness, directly after what they just did with the Olympics. It's a little weird.
One place with
I'm just
a generator.
saying, it's a little weird. Huh?
One place with a generator.
I mean, I don't know if it was a generator or if it was just divine intervention. I mean, probably both.
Maybe this is one of those things you just cannot explain with normal means.
Paranormal.
There is
the whole city was in darkness. Less than 24 hours after they were mocking Jesus. I mean, come on.
That was the shining, the shining beacon.
Wow. Joel, have you seen anything like this before?
No, there is so much symbolic value in what was just there.
I could also say about the George Floyd walk, the whole lightning strike.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
God
indeed.
sending a message.
Yes, we've spoken about that on the podcast before. You're absolutely right. Like, that was weird. Thou shalt not worship false idols. And then a lightning strike came down. I mean, that was bonkers in itself, man. Holy. Oof. But right now, even a couple of years later, we're still seeing signs, It's just interesting that this happened. I mean, I feel bad for the people in France because right now it's in the middle of summer, so these people probably don't have air conditioning. Tens of thousands of people are probably their refrigerators aren't working. Stuff like that. You got to think about the normal person, right?
Well, technically, a refrigerator or freezer will last at least a day as long as you're not constantly opening.
No, I know, but just imagine living in Paris and
I gotta argue with that.
Oh crap! My entire block is we have no power. I can't charge my phone tonight. What the fuck are you gonna do?
I gotta argue with that on that, Noble. It doesn't last 24 hours because I lost $250 worth of groceries about a month and a half ago, so it doesn't.
Depends on your fridge. Yeah, I mean, it's a messed up situation. But
it don't last all 24 hours. Maybe in the winter it lasts 24 hours.
Well, yeah, you just put it outside, right?
Well, no, just in general. But just like when it's 90 degrees outside and you lose power for 48 hours, everything in the refrigerator is garbage. I hate to tell you.
Look.
Yeah,
because I'd like to go with this. We're going back to you got to look back and see what the symbolic value of this really was. At the end of the day, you can mock. You could, if you really wanted to, mock Jesus Christ, but at the end of the day, the light shall overcome the darkness.
Oh yeah.
And that is absolutely correct. And the fact we even saw that happen, the fact that that quote has been realized. The only building in the entire city of Paris, when they were blacked out after the Olympics, which the French government, now I'm not blaming the French people, but the French government, the people in charge, they supported this. They mocked God and Jesus, and that they allowed this, artistic event to happen. And then this happened? I mean, like, you can't make this up. This seems like a movie. I mean, what the crap? The next day, frickin' Paris goes dark, and then the only thing lit up is a church. Are you freaking kidding me? Like,
You know what
that
would
is
have
crazy stuff, man. Like, that sounds like a movie. I mean, come on.
you know what
What
would
the
have made
heck?
this richer if the thing that was lit up was the famous Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, that really does seem like it.
But yes, that's one part of the story too, and I'm really glad that happened because
Mm.
this is the sort of stuff that makes you say, you know what, forget the Olympics. I'm going back to church.
Oh, after
And
what they've done, yeah, it's hard to support the
rightly so,
Olympics.
rightly so. But there's more to it than that too, of course. Next piece of cluster that happened in the Olympics, of course, happened at a boxing ring.
Right. Now, again, guys, this is not meant to be anything political or whatever. It has zero things to do with who you vote for. We're just looking at a dude beating on a woman and saying that that's wrong, which it is. So, yeah,
Yeah.
this is something that happened in the Olympics. And this poor girl, oh my God, man. Did you see the story? And she
Yeah.
was like crying about like how she did this for her dad and she trained so hard, and then she got clocked in the face by a dude, and then the man was like, yeah, well, I can register as a woman as I want to, and I just want to win the gold. Like, he literally said that. He's like, yeah, I don't care. And you know what, hey, that's their rules. That's what they do.
That's wrong on so many levels.
It's wrong on so many levels. But technically, you know what? If I wanted to enter the Olympics right now, or if I wanted to enter in any kind of sport, and I said, yeah, I identify as a woman, I can just, do that, and they're not going to stop me. So that's a dude beating on a woman. It's not cool.
Do we have a news article to show regarding this?
We do.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
There's a lot. That poor girl. Oh, she
yeah,
got
and
clocked in the face, man. Did you see the
yeah,
blood?
and
Holy.
she was worried that her nose was gonna be absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So,
Did you see her crying afterwards?
yeah, I saw her on the knees and crying, and she
Oh my God.
basically bowed
That
out
was terrible, man.
of the match in just 46 seconds.
She's like, yo, I'm a female boxer. I was expected to be fighting other females, and then this man comes in and beats her face in. That's messed up. I don't care what political party you vote for. That is not okay.
No,
Like,
absolutely not.
dudes can't be beating up on women like that. Like, that's really not cool. But that happened, and they're allowing it to happen. So who the fuck trusts the Olympics anymore? Like,
Now,
who cares?
I'm curious, what side was the trans from? What country?
Algeria.
Yeah, no, Algeria.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And
Oh,
what
yeah,
about the
that's right.
woman?
It
What
was
about
an
the-
Islamic country. No,
So-
he was from an Islamic country.
Yeah, and the woman's from Italy.
All right. I guess they were trying to make a statement, or my personal assumption is like after I've seen all the videos and I've assessed the situation, what I've seen is it seems like this person just wants to make a statement for their country, which I get that. I really do.
So they started out as a biological man or a woman?
Biological man. They competed as a
Okay.
woman, and then
Yeah.
they did what they did. But they wanted to win the gold for their country.
I see.
And I don't think that's the correct way to do it. No, I think
Fuck
if you want to
no.
win a medal
No,
for
I
your
mean, even
country, you
like
should do it
you know, it's
fairly.
made simply worse when these two people were actually banned, disqualified from the sport, and they were made ineligible for participating in the women's competition, and yet the Olympic Committee waived them in anyway.
Yeah. This is the same one. So they, for some reason, they were allowed to compete and beat on some women, and they got cheered for it. That's not
Real women.
something. Yeah, like actual women. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a messed up situation, man. Like, what do you do?
Right. Like,
You
I
just
mean,
got to
yeah.
make the rules clear. Like if you're born with a penis, you can't be boxing women. Like, why
No,
is
you're
that?
a dude.
Why is
You're
that
a
a
dude.
difficult rule to even make? Like,
Yeah.
get
You're a
real.
dude, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, right?
It's
Like,
either XY
come on,
or
man.
XX. That's it.
It's just silly.
It's not silly. It's scary.
And you know what? The funny part is that the Olympics are basically like digging themselves into the hole even deeper. They decided to like dig in, trench in.
Yeah, that's how it always is.
Yeah, they can't,
Well,
But yes, but that's the whole thing that might just drive the whole thing down the drain. But you know what? Let's step away from the sporting ring now because Paris, the city that's hosting the Olympics, is also in a clusterfuck as well. Like
oh
even
yeah,
outside
we
of the
know that.
sporting ring, apparently, like there's been complaints over there, athletes have to be put on a 60% vegan diet, and they really, really they made meat sting out, and they got them eating chicken nuggets.
That'll be the day. That'll be the day I freaking don't eat meat. I want meat and potatoes.
A vegan diet? What?
Yeah,
Meat
and
and potatoes.
McDonald's was banned from the thingo. It was banned from the Olympics. From athletes were banned on the menu. Nuggets were not. Yeah, nuggets are banned.
Huh.
So I couldn't have my dino nuggets and be part of the friggin' Olympics. Nice.
Right, and
I think we can probably just move on from this topic. I mean,
I'd say
we pretty
so,
much
but
nailed it on the head.
yeah, like the sports thing, but all that other stuff too. But apart from that, though, I will say one thing, just to proceed, you know what the absolute funniest thing is? The next Olympics in 2028, if it ever gets to that point, is happening in Los Angeles. And in the absolute state of the world that we're living in, I think
It'll be burnt to the ground.
Poetic. It really just seems poetic to host this next one at Los Angeles, considering the absolute state of the Olympics right now.
Well, if they were, if they checked off all the boxes, they would probably just win by necessity. Like, hard work doesn't matter anymore. That's what we've seen with all these people competing, and actual female athletes being very upset about this kind of situation. Yeah, of course, we've seen that all over YouTube. Riley Gaines, stuff like that.
Natural born
these
female.
people are upset. I mean, I don't blame them. I'd be too. But that's the Olympics now. Now they just want to mock Jesus and have Paris be, afflicted by God's wrath. I mean, like, if that's what they want,
Then that's what they'll get.
that's
And,
what they'll get. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
sad.
France is gonna be like really, really, really going so far down the drain. We're gonna laugh. But yeah, I think it's time we find the next item on the show to share with you. Okay. So we have we're going to take a shift in direction, but while we're here, and this next item is this. Ford
You said
Patent-
take a shift
Yes.
like you're driving. Aha!
No pun intended, but it just
Yeah.
happened, okay? No pun intended. So, yeah, next item is Ford patents a car that would snitch on you for speeding.
Ford.
Fix or repair daily.
Well, this is something that I wanted Tyler's opinion about because he knows quite a bit about cars, but this is a whole new development going on now. We're gonna look into the article and then we'll talk about that.
Let's read this little story, shall we? Like this whole first and second, first and second paragraphs, just so we know what's happening. Like say, someday soon you may get a ticket for breaking the speed limit mailed to you. Thinking back, you won't be able to remember passing any police officer while pushing the speed limit. That's because you didn't. You passed a civilian's Ford which clocked your speed and snitched on you. I know. I'm as shocked as you. This new system is outlined in Ford's patent application for quote-unquote systems and methods for detecting speed violations. The automaker filed the patent in January 2023, but the USPTO finally okayed it and published it during summer 2024.
Now, I'm going to have to stop you there, but how many houses are going to get clocked at doing like 250 kilometers per hour?
Well, how many cars can actually do that? I mean,
houses. A house.
Right. Well, a house not going to be moving at fucking 240 miles an hour.
You got things like motor homes and prefabricated houses that have to be moved.
Unless it's like a fucking mobile home. I mean, you have your address. But nah, man.
The thing is that this may end up forcing people to say, yeah, fuck Ford and not buy the car, because what's going to happen if someone constantly gets tickets? They're going to see a Ford and they're going to be like, I'm going to smash it.
Well, let's say if you wanted to go down the road like 65 miles an hour and the speed limit's like 30. Like, if you have some computer chip in your car that's going to alert the DMV that you're speeding, or like alert the police, or like how is that going to happen? Tyler, what do you think about this thing?
Well, I'm old school. Always have been, always will be. With all of this newfangled crap, this is what I think. Obviously, don't buy a modern vehicle, number one. Number two, learn how to work on stuff yourself. It's really not that hard. Learn how to work on stuff yourself, fix it and repair it, and go back to the old school days without all this electronic crap. Because, very simply, now, I drive now, the newest vehicle I have in my fleet is a 2016 Chevy. Well, that had a little black box in it. Well, I figured out how to rip that out of it. And that had the OnStar and all this other crap that would tell Big Brother. Well, I had to do a little bit of modification and, screw with the wiring and yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Uncle Sam and Big Brother don't know nothing about my truck no more. Could you do that with a 2024 vehicle? Probably not. I'm not interested in it. I'd rather have a carbureted vehicle because ain't nobody telling me what I can and can't do with it. or are they going to be able to shut me off? So unless they set off an EMP, you're not shutting me off.
I'm assuming you wouldn't be caught dead in one of those coffin on wheels then.
Oh, God, no. Listen, I'm an American. I burn gas, I smoke cigarettes, I wave the American flag, and I drink whiskey. There ain't nothing more American than that. It's don't tell me what I can and can't do. The speed limit is 25. Okay, well, it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm going to work and there's nobody on the road. So if I'm doing 85, I'm not going to hurt anybody but myself if I put this thing in the ditch. Correct?
And if a police officer is actually doing his job, hiding behind a sign, he'll clock you and you'll get a ticket.
If he can catch me. Like, no. My thing is, okay, you're there to write me a ticket. I pay your salary. Go do something else. Don't break my balls. I'm just trying to go to work. I have no use for you. None. Like, go get a haircut and get a real job. I have no use for them because I'm an American. I can take care of myself. I don't need them for nothing. Somebody breaks into my house, I'll handle it myself. I'm not gonna. My first thing is, oh my God, I got in an accident. Oh, let me call 911. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of these police officers are going to understand what the fuck is happening. If, let's say, you have a self-driving vehicle and then this shit just drives itself into a tree.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, officer, the fucking car exploded. It just,
what a self-driving
it just
vehicle
drove itself, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem.
When you have your two Clydesdales pulling your buggy home from the bar because they know how to get back to your farm.
I mean,
that's a self-driving vehicle.
Think about it, though. Like, these cars are going to be a problem. I don't care, like, how... Well, yeah, I know that. But, like,
they're gonna stop
if
when
other
Johnny
companies try to get involved in the market and stuff like that, like, oh, well, we're 75% safe and our competition is 85% safe, so therefore you should trust us. Fuck that shit, bro. I'm not going to get into a car that can drive by itself. That is terrifying.
No,
like,
that's
I need to be behind the wheel. I got to be in control. Got to be behind the wheel, man.
Press the gas, press the brake.
This is actually very scary. And we're seeing this happen more and more and more.
Hang on. What is scary is when Teslas decide to stop in the middle of a highway.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better.
You don't want that. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Somebody's trying to carjack
No.
And they stand in front of the car and it won't take off.
What Noble's saying is, Noble, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, but what I think you're getting at is if your car were to stop in the middle of the fucking highway, someone going 65 miles an hour behind you is going to smash into you. And you can't stop that.
Avira, I think it was last year, but a Tesla came to a full sudden stop while I think it was a highway, but it was going through a tunnel. And there was a bit of a pile up and a couple of accidents. They're like, yeah, what happened? Oh, the car thought someone was walking around. It's like,
that's exactly that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like,
the shit's no good.
You can't not stop the brakes. Like, that's a fucked up thing too.
The shit's no good. Especially when
Sorry to be all profanity or whatever, but like,
now,
it's messed up.
We should also all remember that a woman was hit by a self-driving vehicle.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
I see.
None of that should be a thing. None of it should be a thing.
Now, this is a question I wanted to ask you, actually. You were saying, like, these new modern cars. What do you mean by modern? Like what date do you think thereabouts, or, like, the modern-ish cars?
Anything,
like
anything after 2015? No.
2015, okay.
And even that's too modern. I prefer stuff from, like, the 70s. And the 60s, because there's no electronics in that. That's my thing. Okay, I can make that run. I need my Leatherman on my friggin' hip and a screwdriver. That's it. It's either going to run or it's not. And even if it runs like shit, I'll get it home. Like, it's just stuff you can work on it. It's fuel, air, and spark. There's none of this freaking electronic crap, none of these sensors, none of these computers, none of nothing. No airbags. You hit the windshield like a man. I've done it twice. You know what I mean? It's just none of this crap.
No, yeah.
Well, it's like, it's horrible for emissions. Oh, it's horrible for this. Oh, it's horrible for that. Well, guess what? In 200 years, I'm going to be long dead. So what do I give a shit? You know?
It's very interesting you mention that because
I want cheap gas and I want to drive my cars.
Yeah.
And the cars that I like.
I think I sent you either I sent you or I think I sent Jolt.
Yeah, you sent me something, but that's about self-driving cars.
About how 93% of people, there was some poll that was taken about how most people don't support self-driving cars. So I get it, man. Like, you're in control. Like, if you understand your car, if you
100 million people are going to vote for Harris. So
Yeah, no, they're not. Unless we're not going to talk about that.
Stop you guys there. And get.
I was just talking about like cars, though. Like if 93% of people think that like self-driving cars are dangerous, that kind of tells you something, right? Like I don't think the American market is ready for self-driving cars.
Hold on. Okay. So my question regarding the vehicle is, how is it going to send the information to the police?
Right. Like, let's get back on track with the whole, speed camera thing. So
because of GPS and all that other crap.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Here's what they said. According to the documents, Ford is exploring a system its cars could use to monitor the speed of nearby vehicles. That's right. Not just Fords, but everyone on the road.
Yeah.
They could use their navigation cameras to track another vehicle's speed.
There you go.
And send a report to a nearby police cruiser. They could
Your cell phone can do it too.
Roadside monitoring unit the police set up. And that begs the question: why? Why?
I'll tell you why. Because the friggin' Big Brother wants to friggin' get their money. It's the same reason why, like, I'll get pulled over at 3:30 in the morning when I'm going to work. And because I'm doing 120 something miles an hour.
All right. First off, hold up. This is going to be a bit of a problem because it's stating that it's not using equipment specifically installed for it, but equipment used for other functions.
Of course.
Which would raise the question about how reliable would that be?
Hang on a second. Do you guys remember? I mean, you guys are overseas, but I don't know if you have it over there. But here, the last 5 or 6 years or so, they had this little gimmick insurance companies would give you. You plug it in your OBD sensor, right? And if you drove correctly and you never hit the brakes hard, you never accelerated hard, you never freaking did whatever, your insurance rate would be lower.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
That was right. That was the same
lowered
system.
Your insurance. Yeah.
Right.
Some companies were on board with that.
Right. This is the same shit that they're talking about now, whereas your car is going to report to the police. Okay,
now,
let me tell you something.
Okay,
I am driving my vehicle. If I drive it over the speed limit, that is my business. Cop didn't see it. I didn't do it. So my thing is like,
if your car is connected to the whole system, they can find you.
Because they all are today. Your cell phone's connected to it, this, that, and the other thing, backup cameras, all. Give me an
God
87
forbid
Chevy.
you went five miles over the limit one day. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. God. You're like, okay, well, there's no one on the road, but then they're gonna find you for it.
All right,
I had a couple of drinks, and I was hanging out with my buddies, and I burned the tires off of my car in front of his house.
Up there.
All right. Now, there was a point made by a YouTuber, I forget which one, regarding this article, regarding the whole story. And it's a simple one. This may not actually be deployed in all vehicles.
I might lose you guys, so if I do, pardon me.
That's
right. But getting this registered, getting this set up as a thing would mean that Toyota would be able to turn around and charge a license to any other car company that wants to produce a similar thing.
I see. So
They're all going to
here's
do it.
the
It's
no.
not just Ford.
Here's the incentive.
What's the one that currently has
They
a patent
want
for
you
it?
to apply for this, and then they're going to lower your insurance so long as you obey like the rules of the traffic laws, right?
No,
So
this
they're like,
is-
oh,
this is
well, we're
about-
going to give like $200 off, every 6 months. Okay, great.
So then why don't they put a limiter on the car? The car won't do more than 65 miles an hour, so you can't speed. You have all
Yeah,
these
that was
freaking
always my
things.
question.
You have all these
What?
things, all these GPSs and stuff. Oh, the speed limit on this road is 25. You can't go more than 25.
Bro,
Oh, you're
I
on the
have a
highway?
Toyota Camry. Like, I can drive 120 miles if I really wanted to. Like,
Oh,
it's
bullshit.
insane.
I can get more than that out of that car. I'll show you how to do that next time you come over.
All right, well, I don't want to do that. But the thing is that my car is capable
Right.
of such crazy speeds. I'm not really sure why it's supposed to
It's
be,
like,
but it can be.
if I'm not supposed to drive my truck over 65 miles an hour, why does it have a 140 mile an hour speedometer?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, it's
I'm
fucking
sorry.
bonkers, man.
If I
don't
put
know.
my foot in it, why am I not allowed to freaking do no? Like,
And let's say, if we're going back to the article here, if somehow one of your new cars
Right, like let's just
has this monitor in it, and it's like, oh well, you went
See,
over the speed limit. Now we're gonna go fine you. Like we're gonna track how fast you're going. See, that's a little spooky to me.
yeah, it's a
In two
all
ways
these-
that
all these
hurts.
limited-
One, it hurts you, obviously, but two, it also hurts police officers. Normal people on the job. Just on patrol. And sure, they have to, inspect safety on the road.
Right.
I get it. But it's like, even that, like, they're going to be losing jobs too, because it's like, well,
and you're
if
right.
if
I
a
got a
computer
better
can
idea.
just give people
Okay.
tickets, then what the fuck am I
Here's a
here
better
for?
Right.
here's a
Right,
better
I
idea.
think, Vera,
You have a friggin' you have a vehicle, right? And it's got all this newfangled crap in it, right? Okay. Well, you turn on Waze, it tells you when you're speeding, correct?
I suppose.
Okay.
Every GPS app does that. But the point
Okay.
is, I'm going to stop
So
you
here.
there.
So why doesn't the car limit you to that speed? You can't go faster than that
I don't know.
because they want their money.
Yeah, some of them don't. Jolt, what were we saying?
I was about to say, yeah, look. So I don't want to have to interrupt, but I get what you mean, Avira. Like, the big picture ramifications. I can see it all. Like you can see it's going to cause like the whole court system and that to back up because of the whole. Where the heck did this speeding ticket come from?
Oh yeah,
If I wasn't clocked by a police officer.
Exactly. It totally just like neglects that human interaction, because like if you get pulled over by a police officer, we're all people, right? You can negotiate, you can talk. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I was 5 miles over the limit. I'm just trying to get home. Maybe they'll cut you a break. But when you have this crap integrated into your car, or like these red light cameras and stuff like that, it's like robots are literally taking people's jobs, even police officers' jobs, and that's not something I agree with personally.
Right.
My thing is stop encroaching on my freedom.
And that's the thing too,
because robots, man.
Because apparently Ford, they were playing like any Ford vehicle can report any other vehicle, like just everyone on the road, and that's a scary thing, because it's like you're gonna look at there and you're gonna be like, hey, is there a modern Ford right around me? Like, is there a Ford right next to me, behind me, something? You're gonna be like looking everywhere just to see you're not over just because of the presence of a modern Ford, if that comes to pass.
My thing is just stop encroaching on my freedom. That's the whole point of being here. I can do what I want, and if it's 3:30 in the morning,
that's besides the point. Okay.
Right now, but that's the whole thing. You're encroaching on my freedom.
The implementation of this feature leaves much to be desired, if at that.
But these idiots.
My
these
guess,
idiots will go ahead and buy it. That's the problem.
my guess to the whole media release for this was initially to basically drum up attention. That's it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what it's doing.
Now, if they do implement a system like this, they're most likely going to patent it, and then they're going to be able to license it out to other companies to be able to produce their own.
Yeah, and stop me
So
and my
that's
old
going to be a
school cars.
huge revenue. That's where they're going to get a lot of revenue from. That's
Right.
another big concern.
Of course.
My concern is the way it's being implemented.
Like,
If
I
it's
don't like
relying
buying
on,
Same.
if
I don't like
it's
body cams, I
relying
don't
on
like red light
already
cameras.
installed hardware that's used for a different purpose, how can you tell its accuracy? As said before, the court systems are going to go basically ballistic with this, because how the hell do we even judge? Some police are probably just going to go, yeah, fuck it, why not, and just tick it
Do you
off.
Oh,
guys
they did, dude. Absolutely.
do you guys have red light cameras?
yes.
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 That's exactly what I'm talking about. Same example, dude. Like
That's another problem.
I stopped at a red light and then I turned. Apparently, I didn't stop all the way. They gave me an $85 ticket. Now, if a police
That's why you don't
officer,
run
like a
across
real
straight.
person, saw me do that, it would have been
Yeah.
fine. I would have talked to him, like, "Hey, sorry, I didn't stop all the way," whatever. But
That's why
because
you
it was
don't
a
run a front
freaking
plate.
camera, like, they just sent me the ticket, and then I had to go to court. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother fighting this. It's not a lot of money. It's whatever, but it's just annoying, Like,
I'd rather take the ticket for running no front plate than have to deal with that bullshit.
no, it's just like it's just more additional crap that they're doing, man.
No, it's called a money grab. That's what it is, because it's a bunch of shit. That's all it is. It's a money grab. And it's, you know what? Until the rest of the country starts bucking back, we're screwed.
And I'm sure companies, because
Right.
right now there's no laws about this. Like, this is all very new technology.
There should be.
So when you have, fucking Tesla or Google or their self-driving cars, like, there's no
All this
laws
shit
about
in
this. Like,
AI should be
who
outlawed.
knows what happens?
All of it. AI should be outlawed. Self-driving cars should be
I don't know about
outlawed.
that.
No, it should be. It should be. Because you're friggin'
It's already part of our culture.
Right, but the point is like, you can make it look like you or me robbed the bank right now. And then the cops can come and arrest us.
Well, if my car drove itself to some bank and I don't know, some Tesla bot came out of the fucking trunk or whatever.
All right.
AI in general.
The whole AI thing is going to be a story for another time. But right now, I think that's pretty much where we're going to, up and close this segment.
Oh, absolutely.
So
buy old cars, burn fuel. Damn it.
Buy old cars, yeah, right. Diesel.
Buy old cars. Work on them yourself. Bust your knuckles. Damn it.
All right. So we've got one last segment to cover through for this week, and it's kind of something that's just very, very fitting into what we've seen, especially with what's happening in the culture sphere and what we've seen in the Olympics opening ceremony. Is that Lord of the Rings is in the crosshairs again?
Yes.
What does Lord of the Rings have to do with the friggin' Olympics?
No, nothing. That's just a different
nothing.
topic.
But when you see what they did with the opening ceremony and what the Lord of the Rings really stands for, because you got to remember, Lord of the Rings is unabashedly Christian, and you of course you understand why they did the Olympics, the opening ceremony. They want to mock Christ,
Western civilization. Yeah.
Yes.
They want to attack everything.
All right, I'll give you that. All right.
So, Lord of the Rings Season 2 trailer came out, which, to be honest, I'm actually a little surprised that the second trailer came out after the abysmal failure of the first one.
I just have to go on a little tangent here about the LGBTQ thing. I am disgusted that they want to leave out the M character from that.
M character? What do you mean?
Maps.
M who?
Right.
The maps. Ah, of course. Well, see, that's something that they are actively promoting. This whole LGBT WXYZ rainbow cultist, rainbow mafia people. They support that kind of degeneracy. So yeah, you're right. I'm kind of surprised that they don't have this in here, considering they spent over $1 billion on making this franchise. But let's see what season 2 has in store for former fans of this.
What is this different from the movies?
Well, this is
This is
Amazon
the
has gotten
Netflix series. Yeah.
Oh,
Amazon
okay.
has gotten their hands on the Lord of the Rings' license and made a TV series called The Rings of Power, and now it's about to enter its second season. They're continuing to piss on Tolkien's legacy
Continue the
and
assault on J.R.R. Tolkien.
his work, and they will confirm it will feature a romance between Galadriel and Sauron, quote unquote, on both characters, because they are not they will never, for all it's worth.
So basically, what that tells you is they have absolutely zero creative intuition. They have no original ideas because, or their original ideas are dog shit. I'm sorry.
Or
I I I, I
fact of the
retract what I
matter
just said.
is, they want to think that there can be harmonious intermingling with good and evil.
They can't just use the original source material. See, that's the problem. That's why, like, all of us original Tolkien fans are upset about this, because we don't give a flying crap about your woke agenda. Okay, we just want to see the cool, awesome fantasy story, you know, created. Like what Peter Jackson did. With the freaking Gandalf fighting the Balrog and crazy cool shit like that. Like, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see, strong women, all this retrocon nonsense. What they did with the Rings of Power, oh my goodness! Like, as a Lord of the Rings fan, it was very depressing to see that. Like how Anatar wasn't even the ones that gave him the 3 rings. That is some bullshit right there. I read the Silmarillion. Okay, I know how the story goes. They butchered it like beyond recognition. Sorry about that rant.
Look, if anyone wants to have like strong female leads, it's like Diana Mayer. Is that how you
Well,
pronounce her name
Galadriel's
in
cool.
Dragonheart?
She's a cool character.
But look, when it comes to stuff like this, you gotta really focus on the original story and try to expand on that without taking what's currently popular. That's why shit like this fails. That's why Star Wars is failing, because they're focusing on here and now instead of something that can be timeless. Like Princess Leia picking up a blaster and shooting at the bad guys. I mean, seriously, come on.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was badass. Right on.
So, what else
the
has
thing is,
they
like,
said in the article that points out about how they've really fucked it up? I mean, it's like Star Trek currently in the whole Vulcan scene. It's like, why?
Oh yeah. Well, Leia wasn't meant to
Why
be
not?
like the female whammon badass character. She just was. Like, she was just there. It was Luke's story for sure, but she was just a cool character. It didn't
Now,
have to be about her. Like, that's what it was.
with the Tolkien like shit canning thing,
Yeah.
is there anything particular that they've released to the storyline that basically just
There was one thing that they did at the end of the first season series, when they were like on the raft together and he was like trying to entice her to like be with her. It was a twist, supposedly. Like, for those who are not privy into Tolkien lore, I guess that would be like an interesting, like, whoa, that guy's Sauron, and maybe she'll join him, stuff like that. But, like, I mean, come on. It was, I don't know who these writers were, but they did not do a good job,
No,
in my
they did
opinion.
not.
I mean, maybe some other people who weren't originally fans, maybe they liked it, but it just made no sense at all. Visuals look
No.
great. Like it was a cool show, but overall, it just looked bad. So I don't know what they're gonna do with season 2. I did see the trailer, and they showed the Balrog, the one who's probably from Moria, right? Like Durin's Bane. The visuals look cool. I mean, obviously, yeah, they have a lot of money. They can do their thing, but story-wise, like that's where it kind of falls for me. Because like I know the history of Middle Earth, like the first age and second age and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense.
Right,
Maybe
but
if
the
they're
whole,
trying to like
but the
condense it
very
into a
again,
show, but I don't know.
like the very idea of the Sauron and Galadriel romance, just think of it like
Yeah, right. Like what the fuck?
no, like
That never happened.
good cannot coexist. Will never have a coexistence with evil.
Yeah. Well, Galadriel is basically like an angelic force of good.
Yes.
She would never be tainted like this. Now, granted, she did have her complexities during the story because she always struggled with wanting to have more power, and that's one of the tests when she met Frodo and Frodo offered her the ring and then she denied it. Like that was one of big character arcs, and that's why she was allowed to go back to Valinor. It's the whole thing. But I don't know how they're going to explain that in this new series. Like I'm sorry, I don't see it. Maybe I'm just like a Tolkien nerd or whatever,
No,
but
but you're right. Like every Tolkien that has the thing to be outraged by what Amazon is doing.
oh, I'm so upset. I wanted to like it. Like it looked cool, but what they did with the 3 rings, like at first, I mean, come on.
But
Anatar was supposed to come to them before they made those. I mean, what the crap, guys?
no,
Really?
there's more too.
Really?
Yeah, but right now they're again, of course I mean, needless to say, they're adding LGBT characters to friggin' Lord of the Rings is one thing.
Stop it.
Yeah. Now the next thing they're gonna do is of course more and more, the whole more out of touch thing. Oh, the whole race swapping thing. Oh, a lot of people think, all this stuff because they think they speak on behalf of Tolkien. They don't understand Tolkien's work. No, please. Bitch, you're projecting. So, honestly, I gotta, because the next season of The Lord of the Rings is gonna come out, in just a couple of weeks. It's gonna come out in August.
Yeah.
How do you guys see this happening, playing out? Is it even gonna, make it all the way to the end of the season? Is it gonna make it to a 3rd season? Or
I think it's going to have its 2nd season because they already have the funding. They already started filming it over a year ago, so they probably have most of it already created. So they're gonna post it once they're done, with their final editing or whatnot. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna have a very good audience reception. Because,
no,
like I said, man, I mean, I'm a Tolkien fan. I mean, I know the history and the lore, and what they're doing. I mean, hell, the first season, it made no sense. It made no sense, with the timeline, with the rings, with Anatar, with none of it. For those of you who are not super Tolkien fans, sorry if I'm boring you, but I'm a super nerd about that, and yeah, seeing the first season was very upsetting. Very good visuals, but the writing was terrible, and the story made zero sense.
I'd like to show.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Remember when they said Rings of Power would be like Game of Thrones? Who would have thought they'd meant seasons 7 to 8? Oh no! Okay, yeah. So I've heard that Game of Thrones 8 was terrible.
Terrible seasons of Game of Thrones. Oh yeah.
You would think with $1 billion, and man, if only like one or two people on the writer staff was like actually fans of Lord of the Rings, like if they actually read the books or saw the movies, I mean, come on, someone had to say something, right?
Well, no, see, that's the thing. They probably look at this and go, dollar signs!
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just a cash grab for them. Like dead ass, dude. It totally is. They're like, oh well, Lord of the Rings. That's a franchise we can make some money on. Let's go invest $1 billion, and then maybe we'll make $5 billion. Maybe they thought that, but you have to realize, like, this is an enormous fan base. Lord of the Rings is freaking huge. The most popular movies trilogy, probably like ever. Aside from like Star Wars, I mean, Lord of the Rings is up there. So let's be real. And the books and the film, The Hobbit, all of that. So there's a huge market. The fact that people didn't even like bother to do their research when they were making these movies is pretty upsetting.
It sounds like 2020. Well, post.
Yeah, right. Get woke, go broke. Everything's
Now,
fucked nowadays.
Don't forget that Dragon Ball Evolution was a Western thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this Rings of Power adaptation is very much a Western thing.
Yes.
So yeah, the West is basically losing it because of their whole, the whole godlessness and their blatant disrespect for God is a very major thing.
Boy.
And let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, you see why this is a clusterfuck, and you see why the Olympics has become a clusterfuck too.
Yeah. God made his statement.
The Olympics lost its steam for me, I'd say maybe like 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd be this egregious this year.
Yeah, well, the other day when I saw a dude punch a woman in the face and then he bragged about it and he's like, yeah, I'm going to fight whoever I want because they allowed me to be here because I registered as a woman, so I'm just going to go fight whatever. That was messed up. Like that was low. For a guy to do that. But that's what they celebrate now. It's crazy, right?
In the words of my grandfather, the whole world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, backwards
Yeah, that's what
clown
he thought
world,
when he
yeah.
was younger. Nowadays, it's like, oh, you can actually do that.
I guess it goes without saying that those are pretty much the little closing blurbs for the week.
All right, yeah, guys. This was a pretty interesting week we had.
Thanks so much for having me on, fellas.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're gonna have some closing statements. All right, Ty, you wanna maybe
Just
have some closing statements about?
Keep it quick. Keep it short. Keep it
Yeah.
crisp.
How do you think the show went?
I think it went great. I think it went great as always, and just thank you so much, fellas, for having me on, and I appreciate it, and can't wait to do this again.
Oh, of course. Well, it's great having you on, especially about your opinions about the AI driving cars. That was great. All right, Noble, what do you think?
I seriously can't wait to see Olympics LA edition, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be the pinnacle of Western decline, and more,
this year.
Well, this year was a pinnacle, but let's just say I want to watch LA say "Hold my beer."
Yes. The whole car thing with spying on those around you, it's probably going to get shit thrown your way. I mean, come on, be honest.
Well, you guys have car skid competitions. You guys have friggin' the best car scene ever.
And the whole token thing, Tolkien. It's nasty to see franchises basically turn to the lowest denominator instead of trying to tell a story that will engage the long-term fans, and B, at least allow new people to be able to join. Say, for instance, create a series that shows how something happened and how things advanced. Unfortunately, they can't do that.
Yeah,
I
fair
wonder
enough.
what will crawl out of the hole next time for us to basically point and laugh at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys have the best car scene ever.
Oh yeah. Well, Foxler has got a lot of Porsches. He
They
knows
don't
what he's
ride it.
doing.
No.
Yeah, he looks great.
Well,
But
no, just
but
he was
over in
talking about up
Australia
in
and stuff,
Australia.
they don't
But
ride their friggin' lawn chairs all day. They go out and
well,
beat the hell
Oh
out of their
no,
cars.
that's an American thing. Like you're
Yeah.
like riding your fucking tractor along your corn farm and like on the road, like you're good.
But
America's
guys
fucking
in
wild like
Australia,
that.
guys in Australia, they freaking go out and they got their $100,000 cars and they freaking go out there and all they want to do is burn the tires off them. It's great.
Oh boy.
pretty much.
It's
Apart
great.
from that,
I
though,
love it.
Well, apart from that, though, I suppose that's all we've got for the week.
Oh well, I just want to make some closing statements here. That was a super fun week, guys. Ty, I'm so happy you were able to be on here.
Oh, I had a blast. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, fantastic! And let me just say that thing about AI cars. Well, guys, be careful about that, okay? Like, if you're gonna buy a Tesla and it has like some feature that says, "Oh, it's a self-driving," y'all should be behind the wheel, okay? You really should. Like, it needs a human element because just
No
please
shit.
do be careful, okay? Okay. These things are damn scary. And when it comes to Magic the Gathering, oh man, today's August 2nd. Yep. Bloomberg. Or Bloomberry?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg, yeah. So that was the new Magic expansion that just dropped this week. I can't wait to get some of those. I'm gonna put in some orders this week. The price is probably
better.
gonna go
Yeah.
up, but it is what it is. Man, that's gonna be cool. Yo, Jolt, I can't wait to like play Magic the Gathering with you.
I know. There's a way to do that online if we are separated over distances.
Yeah, all right, man.
All right.
Yeah, it ain't the
Oh,
same
well,
as
aside
doing
from that,
person.
guys, I hope everyone had a fantastically awesome night. This was a fun show, and I hope I get to see you next week. Unless there's anything, Jolt, you want to say? Other than that, guys, I'll
No.
see you later.
Not much else
Alright.
other than, thank you for tuning in. And, as always, you can find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more later down the line. And there we go. That's all we've got for you for the week. Till next time.
Hey, hey, hey!